thinking, okay, fingers crossed, let's get to 10. But we passed 10, we got past 12, and then we got to 18. It was amazing,
Totally.
And it was consistent, and, it wasn't random, it was predictable.
So, hey, Rebecca, thanks for joining, and thanks for doing a little referral with me. I'm really hopeful about this referral or this testimonial because we had such a good working experience together that I really want to kick it off and to ask you some questions. But maybe before we get into some deeper lead gen stuff, can you shortly talk the people through who you are and maybe what you guys do at AdRocket, so people have an idea about who you are?
For sure. So, hi, Lucas. Hi, anyone that might interact with this video. So, my name is Rebecca Hall, and basically, I do SEO work and ads for smaller companies and for social media. And I like to think I'm a growing concern and we're getting good traction. And Rocket is my passion and my love and my business all rolled into one. So it's great to be here. And thank you so much for inviting me.
Perfect. Thank you. So since we almost worked for 4 months together, we always like to kick the whole interview off with a specific question we always get at the start because maybe people are concerned about working with us. And prior to our, I would say, excellent results we got, were there any concerns that you may had in the beginning before we kicked it off?
So obviously, well, okay. So, I would say I had a certain amount of uncertainty about the pricing. And I also had doubts whether cold emails still worked. I'll be honest, I was a little bit skeptical. And I thought to myself, how quickly, would the investment pay off and whether we'd actually get, like qualifiable meetings. It's the normal concern when you're trying to grow your business, doing positive things, and also fears of low quality leads for sure, and return of investment, all those kind of things. It's business, and we've got to be focused, and we've got to be position ourselves in the most positive ways possible.
Totally, yeah. And if we, when we actually started, I think it was around last November where we kicked it off. Is it like anything where you were like most surprised directly from the get-go, as I would like to say?
Well, I've got to say kudos to you guys because I was really surprised at how quickly the first meetings started coming in. I went, wow, it's working, and the prospects and the quality of the conversions, they really were genuine, and it's a really professional setup. And so I was just overwhelmed. It completely opened my eyes to what a good, positive working environment we built together. Fantastic.
Yeah, totally. And speaking of results, like, can you tell the people in what time frame? Because I also heard this a lot in the beginning, especially when people ask me like, hey, when can we expect to see the first results? I mean, also with you, it was like we got the first meeting in like, I think right after 2 weeks, I would say, after our startup period. And
Sure.
You also saw some pipeline for yourself in the first like 30 days of working with us, right?
That's exactly how it was. The first meetings, I would say they were in the first week to 2 weeks. So perfect. And
it's important for people to know, but
yeah, absolutely. And visible pipeline, I would say, was within about 30 days. So it was astonishing, and it's exactly what we needed. Exactly. And then, the ROI was within, like it started within a couple of weeks. So, it was I was really, really pleased. That's all I can say. It was working, and it's working now.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Mm,
Yeah. And also in terms of like, because you mentioned, maybe this is something I have to bring up here.
mm.
You actually mentioned in the beginning that you were struggling with the quality of leads, and also that sometimes you didn't have the right fit and the right ICP. Maybe just because, can you talk a little bit about the quality of meetings? Do you have the feeling that they improve, that you have reached the right decision makers, that they also have a budget in place? Like, is this something where you said like, yeah, we're going in the right direction?
Oh, for sure. I mean, my past experience has not always been great with the quality of leads.
Mm,
So that is one of the most important things, of course, you know, and I, I was so pleased with the decision makers and the budgets they had in place, what they understood, you know, how they were focused like I'm focused. So it was coming together of, you know, clear decisions with good people, good companies, people that also wanted to build and establish themselves. You know, it wasn't just wasting so much time chitter chatter, chitter chatter, chitter chatter, getting nowhere. It was all positive, and that's exactly what you need.
great, totally, yeah. And also in terms of meeting, I think you talked to me and you were like, hey, I would be amazed if we can get to 10 meetings a month. And actually, I think like it was always around, I mean, we quickly got to like 12, 15, 18. In the
Mm,
last month, maybe also 20. So we quickly figured out how to get like the right decision makers on it. But in terms of like, we surprised you a bit, I guess, with the also amount of meetings we can actually schedule for ad rockets, right?
exactly. I mean, I was thinking, okay, fingers crossed, you know, let's get to 10. But we passed 10, we got past 12, and then we got to 18. It
Yeah,
was amazing, you
totally.
know, and it was consistent, and, you know, it wasn't random, it was predictable, and it was comfortable. And
Mm,
once I realized that it was quality, and then it was more quality, and then it was more quality, I I sat on that and I thought to myself, okay, this is all positive. It was so good. I
mm.
can't thank you enough, to be honest. It was amazing.
Perfect. Really, really good. So I think to ask the simple question, if the investment had paid off for you, you would definitely say yes, also for other people.
Oh, 100%. If I could say more than 100%, I would. 100%. Absolutely. It was incredible. I mean, the return of investment, it I
For
was
you, it was
shocked.
very easy to,
So good, you
yeah, yeah.
know, and that's
Mhm,
what you need, because it's tough out there.
mhm.
So I can't be more pleased, honestly. You
Perfect.
know, our pipeline is now predictable, and that is perfect.
Okay, perfect. Really, really good. And also because sometimes people ask us, especially like other owners or CEOs, how
Mm,
much effort they had to put in it. And essentially, we always try to do the technical work for them and to do the outbound and selling processes, but and to keep your involvement in
mm,
everything also quite low. I mean, you also had like someone who takes the calls, which wasn't you directly or always. Sometimes I think you
mm,
did took the calls, but
mm.
you had like Evan in place. And but you were. Would you also say that your personal involvement was relatively low, and we could handle the work just for you, so that you really had the feeling of like, hey, this is a done for you service, and I don't have to babysit anyone or Midas signals or Lucas around to to work with them, right?
I mean, for sure. I definitely don't want to babysit anyone.
Yeah.
Those days are over. um, so, uh, yeah, I really only needed to put in minimum effort, minimum time, and just focus on doing my work. And, you know, it was great. You've done so much. It was really powerful. I tried outbounding before and it didn't work. I tried internal things and it failed. It was getting quite exhausting. So, it was great to hand over some of the control and the hard slog and getting the job done. I had to do personally, I didn't have to put a lot of work into the process, very little. We just clarified our ICP and offer, and you handled everything else.
Yeah.
Perfect, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Especially because maybe in the end, I have to say that your ICP was a little bit tricky in the beginning, because we just searched for ads or companies who already were running ads, and this was quite tricky for your ICP, and we had to match it a little bit. But I think in the end we got it, and I'm so happy to hear you in this testimonial. And I think basically that's it. I don't have any more questions. I think whoever is going to see this is pretty much convinced, I would say.
Oh, sure. I hope
so. For my last question, like, is there anything else which you would recommend to other business or agency owners, especially like also working in SEO on the marketing space? Like, if there's like one thing you like to tell them in the end, is there anyone?
Well, I would say this is perfect for SEO agencies, for marketing agencies, B2B service providers with high ticket offers. And
yeah,
if you close just one deal, it pays for itself.
Wonderful.
So perfect. The risk was much smaller than we thought. And I'm so glad I took that risk. We took that risk because it paid off, And if I hadn't taken that risk, now I could have been struggling, really struggling. So it changed everything around very quickly for me. So I'm so elated.
Perfect. Rebecca, couldn't have wished for a more wonderful testimonial from you. Thank you so much for your nice words. I'm glad
I could help. I'm so glad I could help. And thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. Perfect. I think we're always done here. And see you in our next Monday meeting, Rebecca.
For sure. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.